Today we're taking a bit of a throwback to Battlefield 4. You all know I love this game, and despite my recent issues with actually being able to find a server to play on, I think today will be in a bit of luck. I managed to get on some servers and I managed to enjoy myself in some of the vehicles that Battlefield 4 has to offer. As you know, I'm a massive fan of the attack helicopter, and most of this gameplay will take place in the gunner seat of that attack heli with my good friend Corsair, who is the pilot. We've been playing Battlefield 4 together for years, although we have taken a little bit of time away to go and play other games such as new Battlefields and then some of the Battle Royales like PUBG and Apex. Battlefield 4 hasn't lost it though, and jumping back on you can still see there's loads of fun to be had. You can pick up VF4 for basically nothing at this point in time. It's around $10 I think for a key on PC, maybe even cheaper, and on console it's probably the same when EA have a sale. Even buying it at full price from the Origin store will only set you back around £20 or something similar, which in all honesty is an absolute bargain. It may not be hitting the heights it once did, but trust me, there is still a load of fun to be had on Battlefield 4. It does so much of the simple things correctly, and when comparing it to Battlefield 5, especially when it comes to the vehicles, it's just streets ahead. I thought in this video I'd take a look at one of my favourite experiences in the game, and that is of course the large maps and playing in a vehicle. The Final Stand DLC is home to 4 maps that have all had their own special features, but for the most part play really well with vehicles. The maps certainly brought some fantastic only in Battlefield moments to the table, and gave loads of players exactly what they wanted: all-out war on a massive scale. DICE have tried to recreate this sort of atmosphere in Battlefield 5 with maps such as Hamada and more recently Panzerstorm, but it just doesn't quite feel the same. I wasn't quite sure what was missing, so heading back and playing some of the maps like Giants of Karelia would really help. I also played a bit of the China Rising DLC with Dragon Pass in the attack helicopter, again a large open map, and overall, yeah, it's a good experience, but there are some issues. You have balancing issues between the vehicles, you have infantry gameplay that can be fun on some flags, but there are way too many vehicles to get on and have a great open map for infantry. You're often finding yourself stuck behind very little cover, but in a vehicle it's quite a lot of fun, especially if you're in the air. The Battlefield 4 backing track, combined with a mixture of tanks, LAVs, attack helis, jets, ground infantry, transport helicopters, even the jet skis and quad bikes, the list goes on. It created a wonderful environment and almost a sandbox-like Battlefield game, and that's what got me hooked into Battlefield 4 in the first place. Yes, the infantry is also really fun, and many people are still playing Operation Locker and Operation Metro on these 24/7 servers just to get some sort of interaction with the infantry on the game because it is that much fun. But for me, I'm all about having a large mixture of the two, both vehicles and infantry. I enjoy infantry only maps as well. I think maps such as Pearl Market and maybe Operation Locker are a load of fun, and the sweet spot for me is probably the maps that combine the two, such as Zavod, where you've got some really nice infantry based gameplay on the central flags, but I think mainly the most important thing is that the vehicles and infantry gameplay can work alongside one another, which is really difficult to do, and I feel as if DICE maybe hit the spot with those maps in Battlefield 4. The vanilla ones especially, some of them are just really good. And that's what separates Battlefield from all the other FPS games, is the fact that it can bring vehicles and infantry gameplay together on one map, and in certain situations it's perfectly balanced and really good fun. This video is going to be a bit more about the attack helicopter though. I love gunning in the attack heli and have been doing it for years, and I think really it comes into its own when you're flying with a pilot and talking to them on comms, and this could be in Discord or maybe in a party on your console. The teamwork and coordination that is required on these big open maps is crucial, so flying with a friend makes the whole experience more enjoyable for sure. Just take a look at this clip. There aren't any comms in the background because I don't record them, but you can kind of tell what's going on, and the way we work together is crucial in order to stay alive.
We're now control objective Charlie. I spotted hostile LAV. Enemy vehicle spotted. I spotted a hostile soldier.
Here we've got a clip of me playing some Hangar 21 with a couple of friends. I was jumping onto the Final Stand DLC server, I think it's Super Sick or something like that, on Battlefield 4. And it's really one of the only servers that remains that looks at purely Final Stand rotations. You've got Hangar 21, you've got Operation Whiteout, Hammerhead, and Giants of Karelia. And these maps are classic Battlefield 4, big, open, fairly bad balance on some of the maps, and you can easily get yourself in a situation where one team runs away with the game and completely dominates the map. But this one was really fun. The server was quite balanced, and we were finding ourselves in a position where it was a bit of infantry, and then we managed to get the attack helicopter on Hangar 21, and it spawns in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't spawn in your base, and you actually have to get yourself onto the objective in order to grab it, which makes it very difficult, especially if you're on the Russian side, because it's of course the Havoc, which isn't exactly the best attack heli in the game. Now, my friend managed to grab it, and he's there playing in it, and I do manage to jump in a second once I can eventually vault this wall and take out that guy, making use of the G18. And yes, I'm playing infantry as a scout player, something I've rarely done in Battlefield 4. But that's the thing, this game just has more and more to give. You come back to it, you could try something else out, and scout is really something that I really want to get to grips with in Battlefield 4. It's super satisfying to play, and I've actually got myself a couple of kills in this game as well, playing as a scout player. I then get myself in the attack helicopter, and we go on an absolute rampage through the enemy team. And I have lost a little bit of it, as I mentioned earlier in this video. I'm not quite as good with the TV missile as I used to be, and I don't prioritize targets as well as I should. But you give me a map like this and the really OP thermal sights, I will dominate everybody, especially with a pilot as good as my friend Corsair that will always make sure that we have a bit of cover and we can avoid the consistent locking in this game. That hasn't disappeared. In fact, it's probably got worse. And you also do get really cocky jet pilots like this one that fly right at you, and if the tow doesn't kill him, my TV will. And that was really fun to see him get absolutely destroyed before he managed to get his lock off. Look how many players there are on here. I'm struggling for ammo as well, trying to get a quick reload in before the locks appear. Now, usually as a gunner, you want to be looking at the guy with the lock on, taking him down before he can hit his second lock, and obviously hit you through your countermeasure as it runs out. But in this situation, there are so many enemies down there, it's not really worth doing. You just go for a kill, as we're going to retreat anyway. There's too many locks. I wouldn't be able to take them all down. Maybe here I am trying to find the lock guy with the TV as well, not managing to get a connection there, but there's just so much going on. It's really difficult to try and work out what to shoot. Now, I think one of the best things with this attack helicopter is the combination of teamwork that is required, and this is coming to Battlefield 5 Firestorm, or it's in Battlefield 5 Firestorm, with the vehicles, as the driver has far less influence on killing things, and the gunner's the one that needs to be prioritizing targets and trying to make use of the extremely powerful firepower that you get in the tanks on Firestorm. Now, I would say that it's not really the right scenario, Battlefield 5. World War II, it doesn't really do it for me when it comes to air vehicles. It's not got enough really going for it. And there is a helicopter in the game, and yeah, you're like, well, it's cool that it's returned, but it's not quite the same as the attack helicopter in Battlefield 4. That being said, I do think that DICE have a massive job on their hands trying to recreate some of the good vehicle gameplay we've seen in previous Battlefields when it comes to the next Battlefield game. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that they are capable of bringing back some of this epic gameplay that we've seen in BF3 and in this video Battlefield 4, or do you think we're moving on to a different type of vehicle gameplay like we saw in Battlefield 1 and 5, where it's in-house repairing, it's much slower pace? I don't really think it's got the fun factor that we had in Battlefield 4. Let me know down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this live commentary sort of video where we took a look at Battlefield 4 and the vehicles that I love so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.